Hey everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it to get notifications for all our latest videos. Many of us love playing games. Some of us have grown up playing them, while others continue to enjoy gaming throughout their lives. In fact, games provide a fantastic way to unwind, relax the mind, and relieve stress. However, some games can also be incredibly frustrating. We might get stuck, unable to progress past certain levels, leaving us wondering if we'll ever see the ending. But there are dedicated gamers around the world who strive to conquer these challenges. They relentlessly pursue the elusive endings of these seemingly impossible games. Today we'll explore the endings of 9 games that were once thought to be unbeatable. Let's dive in. Number 1. Flappy Bird. This deceptively simple game, created by Vietnamese designer Dong Nguyen, took the world by storm. Developed in just a few days, Nguyen initially named it Flap Flop, but that name was already taken on the App Store. He then settled on Flappy Bird. Released in May 2013, it initially flew under the radar. However, by October it went viral. Social media was flooded with discussions, memes, and countless expressions of frustration as players struggled to master its challenging gameplay. Some players reported taking over half an hour to score just 5 points. This led to a surge in player hate, yet they couldn't resist the urge to keep trying, driven by curiosity to see what lay beyond. And finally, some players achieved the unthinkable: they reached the end. So what happens? After scoring 999 points, Flappy Bird encounters Mario, and the game abruptly ends. For many, this anticlimactic ending was a major letdown after all the effort. Number 2. Pac-Man. This iconic arcade game, developed by the Japanese company Namco in 1980, remains a beloved classic. Players control Pac-Man as he navigates a maze, devouring dots while evading a cast of colorful ghosts, each with unique movement patterns. The game's difficulty escalates dramatically after level 21, making it incredibly challenging to progress. Many players inevitably gave up, convinced that reaching the end was impossible. However, the developers themselves believed there was no true ending, as the game's complexity was designed to increase indefinitely. They underestimated the tenacity of dedicated players. It turns out the game was only programmed up to 255 levels. Beyond level 255, players encounter a software error around level 256. The game displays a jumbled mess of colors, letters, and glitches. Even the developers were unsure of what would happen. Billy Mitchell, a legendary Pac-Man player, holds the world record score of 3,336,300, achieved in 1999. After level 256, the game resets to level 1, but with significantly increased speed. This repetitive cycle continues, ultimately leading back to the main menu, leaving players with a sense of anticlimax. Number 3. Battletoads. This is also one of the most difficult video games of the 8-bit era. Back then there were 8-bit games, but now everything is next-level games. But back then, people used to play these kinds of games, and playing this game would cause too much stress and some people would break their joysticks. This is also a fighting game, but finishing that fighting game was very difficult. In 1990, completing Battletoad was considered an incredible and heroic thing by many people. Even some people considered it a game. Reviewers also criticized Battle Roads because it was so difficult, so some people called it outrageous because the difficulty in it was too much as it went on. So there were a lot of negative reactions. Most of the bosses were easy to kill, but some bosses were very difficult to kill, and no matter how many times you played for them, you couldn't finish them. But some Stuban and lucky gamers played until the end to find out what would happen. So they saw a final boss, and it was a Dark Queen. After defeating her, she turned into a good villain, which means we declared victory. She spun around in the air and went into space. What happens next? A princess or an animal falls down, and then everyone goes into a plane together. The game ends. Number 4. Contra. A beloved classic, Contra pits 2 heroes against a formidable alien threat known as the Red Falcon. Contra game is a favorite game for many people. In fact, I also used to play this Contra game a lot when I was a kid. If any of you are Contra lovers, tell me in the comments section below. Basically, Contra game is about defeating villains, and in this, the bad guys belong to an organization called Red Falcon. They want to destroy humanity. Those villains are controlled by aliens. There are 2 heroes, a hero named Bill Mad Dog Reiser and a hero named Lance Bean. Both of them are fighters. They have to land on that island and destroy that base and save the world. And as the game progresses and goes deeper, the heroes realize that eliminating the terrorists is not that easy. It is very, very tough. Along with that, you also have to destroy their bosses like the Alien Heart in the Alien Denver. Then the final boss comes, and defeating the final boss is not an easy task. It's an alien boss, it's very difficult. How many stunts did you have to do to finish it back then? The final scene of this game is what happens after killing that boss. The helicopter flies into the air and the island completely explodes. Of course, the graphics were the worst, but if it weren't for something else, it would be too much for an 8-bit game back then. Then there's a congratulatory message that says, You have destroyed the wild red falcon and saved the universe. Consider yourself a hero. So the Earth has been saved and we will exit as heroes. That's the ending. Number 5. Donkey Kong. This 1981 arcade classic introduced the world to Mario, originally named Jumpman. It was released in 1991 and was one of the most popular games at the time. What you have to do is move your character across multiple platforms and there are many obstacles in between, all of which you have to jump over. Mario was first named Mr. Video, then Jumpman, and finally Mario was called Mario. Basically, what Mario has to do is that there is a dancing queen waiting for her help. She is being held by a monkey, which means Kong is being held captive. Its name is Donkey Kong. Actually, its name is Donkey Kong. So, the name of the game was given to that character, which also became very popular. There was a lot of discussion about it at that time. In fact, that hero and that gorilla, these two characters have become one of the most popular and recognizable characters in Nintendo, and Donkey Kong is one of the many people also say that it is the most important project in the golden age of arcade video games because it was very popular at the time. And that's why its developers did it in advance, expecting that this game would be very popular, so they created 3 different endings. So they can create any ending they like. What happens in the first ending is that Mario knocks down the gorilla and meets the lady and they both fall in love. That's how it ends. In the second ending, Mario makes the gorilla fall on him. So the gorilla and Mario both die and the lady is left alone. The third ending is very strange and very comedic. It basically means that Mario makes the lady fall down. The lady dies and falls down. Then the gorilla and Mario become friends. There is also a heart symbol between them. What is the concept of this game, saving the girl? Why is this ending not understood? But there are also those who like this ending. In fact, when you see that ending you feel a bit confused. Number 6. Tetris. This deceptively simple puzzle game involves arranging falling blocks to clear lines. All the games we have talked about so far are also a bit complex games. This is a very simple game. So we can expect a normal ending for this. We should not expect some extraordinary ending because this is just a simple box game. So we have to put all the blocks next to each other and clear the lines. However, this game has 2 types of endings. Ending number 1 means that you have all the classic video game characters. They are all visible and there is a pixel cathedral on top of it. There are domes, all those domes are flying into the air one by one. After everything is blown up, the game ends. There is also a second ending, which is that the entire cathedral is blown up at once, and at that time good cheerful music comes on so it feels like we have won, so we get high score points, so we have to enter our name there. That is the situation. Number 7. Earthworm Jim. This Earthworm Jim is a superhero type of game. Basically, a superhero worm gets mutated with a special robotic suit and gets a lot of powers. This game may sound a little strange and nonsense to hear, but its story became very popular at that time and became very iconic. In this game they show us what a super worm can do and its job is to save the princess. So for that, fighting with enemies and wearing suits for that, all this happens. Everything is fine, but the ending of the game is it's a comedy. Jim defeats everyone and kills all the enemies to save the princess, but he can't save her because what Jim does in the beginning is he kicks a cow. The cow that he kicks flies and finally falls on the princess and kills her. In this gap, Jim gives a lot of expressions, that is, he tries to make the princess fall in love with him, but he doesn't bring the princess from her position. So the cow comes and falls directly on the princess's head. So the princess dies. So Jim doesn't know what to do and goes back in despair. And after a while, the cow and the princess are together on the edge of the valley, their faces are broken and they are shown falling into the lava below. After a few seconds, Jim comes back again, saying that the princess's golden crown falls there. He takes the crown and leaves, saying that he got it because he worked so hard. So they put a little comedy ending in that way. But you know it's not a heroic ending, right? Number 8. Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt was also a very popular game in 1990. Some people back then must have had an idea about it. How popular was it? At that time, 28 million copies were sold, which means that many people were buying and playing games. So, it sold 28 million copies, so it was the second best-selling game and it went very viral. At that time, there was nothing you could do. You had to shoot the ducks. 2 or 3 ducks would come. You had to shoot all those ducks. How did those ducks come? A dog would jump into the grass. When it jumped, it would disturb them. So we had to shoot them. If we shoot, we would shoot the duck. If you do, the dog will get up and hold the duck and point it out. If we miss, the dog will get up and smile at us. Why do you want this game? This game became so popular at that time. It was mentioned in the daily magazine's Game, the daily official Nintendo magazine, and everything. It was considered the greatest video game. However, many people want to know what the ending of this game will be like. But unfortunately, like some of the video games we talked about earlier, this one also does not have an extraordinary ending. After you go to level 99, you will come back to level 0. What happens there? There will be 2 or 3 ducks coming like before, or the ducks will slowly fly into the air. What happens? The ducks will rain, meaning all the ducks will keep coming at a very fast speed and not 1 or 2 but 20 or 30 ducks will keep coming. So we cannot shoot them, and what about that dog? It is constantly laughing at us every time, so that's what happens, but there is no such thing as a perfect ending to that game. Number 9. Finally, the most famous game, the T-Rex game. Basically, this T-Rex game can be said to be the most popular game, meaning that all Chrome users have an idea about it. Whenever we lose internet, then we try to open a website, then this game starts. So basically, it was once created to pass the time, that is, we cannot access websites without internet, so for that reason it was created. There is a dinosaur in the middle, there are many obstacles, and it has to move forward by crossing all those obstacles. This game was first seen in the year 2014. Initially, there were some issues with it, that is, there were many glitches on some old Android devices, so the creators rewrote all the code of this and made it perfect again. So now we can use Chrome without this game. Can't even imagine, in 2018 this game was played 270 million times, so it is increasing year by year, and I know that by 2024 they will be playing it even more. In fact, at some point this game should be disabled, everyone is getting addicted. It has also created a kind of issue that everyone is getting addicted. It may be school children, it may be adults, everyone is quitting work and turning off the internet to play this game. But like all games, this T-Rex game should also have an ending. When will that dinosaur have an ending? Basically, it is moving forward very fast. Day becomes night, night becomes day again. It goes on like this constantly. But there is no proper ending. However, a person named Edward Young, a UX engineer from Google Chrome, told us when the ending will come. Basically, we need an ending for this. We have to wait for 17 million years. They designed this game to be played continuously, meaning that it will never stop for all these years. So we will not survive for 17 million years. Our computer will not survive either. So we will never finish this game. So we will never see the ending of this game. We will not see it in our lifetime. We will not see it in the generations after us. No one will see it. So that's it. Guys, have you seen these are the endings of 9 games? Some of them we will never see. Some others were able to see it, but we cannot see it. There are many problems like this. So, which game did you find most interesting, or which game's ending was most exciting? Tell me in the comments section below. For me, it's the game T-Rex, because when they say it never ends, that's the most exciting thing. But this is because the ending means what's more exciting. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more gaming content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.